It seems more and more as I go through that these assessments kind of start to become more of a review than, anything else that I actually do, which I suppose is fine, relatively speaking. Kind of harkening back to what I really originally started doing this with, MMO to play and what to pay. In other words, is this game worth it, and if so, how much? So I don't really mind that. I would definitely recommend, therefore, in that spirit of thought process, I would definitely recommend you go ahead and pick up Bastion. I would even go ahead and recommend you pick it up at full price. Although there is a discussion to be had about that with regards to the length of the game, because you do have to walk in being warned, this is a pretty short game. It does have some replay value. It is definitely worth playing at least twice through, in my opinion. Bare minimum, it does have a proper New Game Plus. In fact, it has, I'd say, probably the third best example of New Game Plus I've ever seen in my life. So, very well done there, very definite props. But getting back to my point, forgive me for segueing for just a second. I know this is an assessment. But some of you who've watched me for any period of time know that I actually have a philosophical disagreement with the concept of summarizing when it comes to anything of import, which is one of the reasons it's so difficult for me to summarize. And for those of you who are not aware, the entire original purpose of the assessment was to be a summary for people who either didn't have the inclination or didn't have the time to actually watch, the proper rumination. So with that spirit in mind, what I'm going to start doing with these assessments is I'm going to have my notes right here, which are going to be used for the rumination, and I'm just going to try and bullet point my way down the list here. So first of all, the game certainly is enjoyable. I do recommend it, even though the story is only moderately good, and the gameplay is actually only moderately good. I'd give them both, I'd say, a 0 out of -10 to 10 overall. The concept of world forming was interesting. It really invoked within me a desire to kind of 100% without really meaning to. Not quite an OCD thing, just it was actually enjoyable to fill out the maps. The memory sequences were great. The subtleties were incredible. There's a lot of questions that are raised by this game, some metaphysical, some literal, and a lot of it is left to the interpretation of the player, which I'll be talking about more, of course, in there. And the final thing I want to mention here is the overall thematic significance of the work, which has to do with taking... Well, okay, I have no idea how to summarize that, but there's a significant thematic point to the work in a whole, which I'll be talking about more in the rumination, so hopefully I will see you there, where I will be slightly more capable of talking your ear off, rather than trying to summarize, because I suck at summarizing, oh my god! This is my 4th take, by the way. I'll see you guys later.